Bitcoin represents the most certain thing in the financial universe, right? And Archimedes said, give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, I can move the world. Okay? Bitcoin is the place to stand. I'm not trying to change Bitcoin at all. I'm just standing on it. The question is, what am I doing? I'm trying to digitally transform the capital markets. The world that I'm changing is traditional finance world. And here's my observation.
Michael Saylor, a leading advocate for Bitcoin, envisions it as the foundation for a transformed global financial system. He describes Bitcoin as the most stable asset in the financial universe, a solid ground to reimagine capital market. Instead of relying on speculative valuations, Saylor aims to use Bitcoin's real, incorruptible value to create a more stable and trustworthy financial landscape. Saylor's innovative initiatives include issuing bonds and preferred stock backed by Bitcoin, introducing a new theory of credit based on tangible reserve. By moving away from traditional systems that depend on uncertain cash flow projections, he hopes to redefine corporate finance and expand Bitcoin's role in the $300 trillion global fixed income market. This approach not only strengthens financial instruments but also enhances Bitcoin's credibility and adoption. As Saylor works to secure Bitcoin's position in the financial ecosystem, he invites others to consider its transformative potential. Could Bitcoin-backed instruments stabilize volatile markets and redefine credit systems? Or might the integration of cryptocurrency in traditional finance face unforeseen challenges? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Equity capital markets, for the most part, value companies based upon a promise and expectation of future cash flows, which another way to say it is the companies have no money, but they promise to get some money over the next 20 years, and we estimate how much they're going to get, and that's the value of the equity. Our company's position is we actually have the money, right? So we have the money now. Maybe you can value us at a premium, but right now the company is 65% or 60% of the market cap of the company is the money. Whereas if you look at a typical company like Apple or Microsoft, 5% of the company is money and 95% is just expectation that they might get money in the future. Why is that? That's because money is toxic if you're using bonds, treasury bills as a capital asset. So if the money that corporations hold is toxic, if it generates a 3% after-tax return, and if the cost of capital is 13%, then you destroy 10% of your capital a year. That means that every conventional company is capitalized on toxic money. And so my mission is to capitalize companies on virtuous, clean money, right? And if you look at the fixed income markets, this is even more profound. Think about this for a second, Christine. A corporation borrows money because it needs money, and so I borrow $1 billion, but I don't have $1 billion. That's why I borrowed the $1 billion. And my credit rating is based upon my cash flows or my EBITDA. So the credit rating agency says, well, you don't have the $1 billion, but you have $100 million in cash flow. And so over the next decade, maybe you'll get the $1 billion. So I'll give you a credit rating. So your credit rating is based on the money that you expect to get to pay back.
Michael Saylor, a visionary in the digital finance space, highlights Bitcoin as the cornerstone for a revolution in global financial systems. He emphasizes its unparalleled stability and potential to transform traditional capital markets by anchoring them to an asset with real, immutable value. Unlike conventional financial models reliant on future promises, Saylor's vision focuses on building a framework supported by Bitcoin's intrinsic worth, fostering trust and reliability. Through innovative initiatives, such as issuing Bitcoin-backed bonds and preferred stock, Saylor is setting a precedent for a more resilient financial ecosystem. By leveraging Bitcoin's integrity, he aims to challenge outdated credit systems and expand its role in the global fixed income market. As these efforts gain momentum, Saylor's mission underscores the potential for Bitcoin to not only reshape finance but also inspire a more transparent and sustainable economic future.
We're in the market with $10 billion say we have $45 billion of actual money, and we want to borrow $1 billion, and a credit rating agency would say, well, you don't have any cash flows, so we don't know if we can give you a credit rating. And of course, the joke is, well, we actually have the money. We have $45 billion. We want to borrow $1 billion, Or I have 5 billion in collateral. I want to borrow 1 billion more. I'm 5x over collateralized. You could literally give me a credit rating based upon the money I have. But the entire fixed income market, which is $300 trillion of corporate bonds, preferred stocks, structured instruments, and the like, that entire credit market is based upon credit ratings and the theory of credit that's based upon loaning to companies that don't have any money to pay it back, but they promise that they'll get the money in the future. So my company is issuing bonds and issuing preferred stock that's backed by Bitcoin, and our mission is to create a new theory of credit, right? We want to issue billions, then tens of billions, then hundreds of billions, then trillions of dollars worth of credit instruments that are backed by real money. And that's what we're doing right now. We're the largest convertible bond issuer in the world last year. I would like to be the largest convertible bond issuer this year. And those convertible bonds are the highest performing, most sought after bonds in the world because they're backed by Bitcoin, by real money. You know, other people that issue convertible bonds don't have any money. They're actually just backed by future expectations of getting some money. And we just issued this convertible preferred stock called Strike, STRK. That's the first convertible preferred instrument ever backed by Bitcoin or any crypto asset. And that's the best performing one as well. And then we announced a $21 billion shelf registration. That's the first time anybody in the history of the capital markets has ever attached a shelf registration to a preferred stock. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to sell billions of dollars of preferred stock to a market, and it's going to be twice as good or 3 times as good as the existing preferred. So preferred stock investors get a benefit, and then we're going to buy Bitcoin, and our common stock shareholders are going to get a benefit, and the Bitcoin network is going to grow, and the entire crypto economy is going to grow. And so the long-term plan is just securitize the entire market. And last year we raised about $22 billion of capital. If we can raise 22 billion, then 40 billion, then 80 billion, then 160 billion, then 320 billion, we'll just keep raising more capital. And you would say, well, when is it going to end? Well, when we've got 1% of the fixed income market, that's going to be $3 trillion.
Michael Saylor's insights emphasize Bitcoin's unparalleled role in revolutionizing the financial ecosystem. By positioning Bitcoin as a foundation for real, tangible value, he challenges the reliance on speculative capital models. Saylor envisions a future where Bitcoin-backed instruments, such as bonds and preferred stock, become the standard, offering stability and trust in capital markets. His approach underscores the need to modernize financial systems by aligning them with digital assets that ensure transparency and sustainable growth. This transformative vision has the potential to reshape how corporations manage capital and how investors approach wealth preservation. With a mission to scale Bitcoin-backed credit instruments globally, Saylor is pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the intersection of technology and finance. His commitment to advancing Bitcoin's utility not only benefits companies but also paves the way for a more inclusive and efficient financial world. How do you think Bitcoin-backed financial instruments could impact traditional investment models? Could Bitcoin's growing adoption eventually stabilize its volatility? Share your thoughts in the comments below.